I'm Chadwick Boseman. I am an artist. People call me an actor. I wouldn't necessarily call myself an actor. I would call myself an artist.
The authenticity that you were talking about yesterday was also about the voice that you brought and the trying to get an accent for the character that was not based in British or French accents. Can you talk a little bit about that and why that was important?
Even the idea to, it's interesting to have to consider it in this instance. I think that's part of the story too, is that people think about how race has affected the world. It's not just in the States. Colonialism is the cousin of slavery. So colonialism in Africa would have it that in order to be a ruler of this type, some people would think, oh yeah, he went and studied in Europe, so therefore his education comes from Europe. And I wanted to be completely sure that we didn't convey that idea, because that would be counter everything that Wakanda is about. If Wakanda is supposed to be the most technologically advanced nation on the planet, if it's supposed to have never been conquered, which means that advancement has happened without colonialism tainting it, poisoning the well of it, without stopping it or disrupting it, then that would mean there's nowhere in the world he would speak with a European accent. If I did that, I would be conveying a white supremacist idea of what being educated is, and what being, royal or presidential or whatever that is, because it's not just about, in this particular superhero, it's not just about him running around fighting, coming in mysteriously to save the day, or even being part of a team. He's the ruler of a nation. And if he's the ruler of a nation, there's certain moments when he has to speak to his people, he has to galvanize to his people, and there's no way I could speak to my people who have never been conquered by Europeans with the European voice.
You've played some very remarkable men in history. 42, Jackie Robinson, James Brown. We're about to see you as Thurgood Marshall, civil rights legend. All very strong, confident, trailblazing men. And I just wonder, where does Black Panther fit in that character?
Well, I haven't planned anything. It's a blessing to be in this position. It's a blessing to have played. If I had only played Jackie Robinson, I would be, happy about that. They're like some oh my gosh moments. Like Jackie Robinson's an oh my gosh moment. Black Panther is a oh my gosh, I get to play that. I think James Brown and Thurgood Marshall were two things that I didn't see as clearly when they first came to me. There was no question about the other two. When I was approached to do it, those two, I said no initially. So I can't take credit for it because I couldn't see that path. I had to have some people that I respect push me beyond my boundaries. And I think that's sort of what it's about. It's not about the characters as much as it's about, you want to spend time doing something that is worth it. Like if you're gonna put as much as you put into doing a role and take away from the other parts of your life, you want to spend that time doing things that mean something. And so I think the through line is not the characters, it's what it takes me through. What challenge does it bring to me? Whether I can do it or not, I should at least be pushing my own boundaries.
Why you think this is a good moment in history for this movie to be made. And we talked about the kinds of movies. Black Panther is notable for being the first Black superhero to make it into mainstream comics. And we were talking yesterday about how, for a lot of kids, Black President Obama, that's all they know, and that the time is right. So could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing about it is when you initially hear that they're doing the movie at all, like take myself out of it, that it's happening, I think it's like, huh, really? If you know what it is that gonna work? You know, are people gonna receive it? Who's gonna go see it? You know, so I think I wasn't sure if it was the right time. It was just the challenge that I needed. And I knew I have to do this regardless of how people receive it, or, you know, if it's the lowest grossing Marvel movie ever, for whatever reason, because that's where the world is, then I just have to give credit to Marvel and for doing that anyway. But what's been surprising is that everybody is excited about it. That I haven't met one person who was like, man, I don't want to go see that Black Panther movie. And I think we love things that we wish they had already happened. You know, in a perfect world, like, this would have already happened. Like, it would be no question, there would be no boundaries, no reasons for this to not have happened before. So I think when you see a moment like this, what's special about it is that we're all dreaming the same dream. We all want the world to be at a place where it's possible. And so, you know, I said it when we, you know, I guess did the written interview or whatever. People celebrated when Obama got elected. Like, it's people that voted against him that still celebrated. Like, because they were like, oh, I see what this means now. So I think it's a similar thing. Like, you know, I hope the movie can live up to that. I pray it can live up to that. But, and I hope it exceeds it, actually.